The waves, the sand, the sun. Beaches have a way of calling to people, projecting peace and relaxation. But the reality is beaches are vanishing as sea levels rise at an increasing rate, and that's putting the communities built on beaches at risk. Alexa Liacko is in one of those communities fighting to stay above water.
Welcome to Pacifica, California. This seaside escape is perched on the bluffs outside San Francisco. It's a place families have called home for generations. Robbie Bancroft and his dad Steve have lived here nearly all of their lives. It's where they opened up their own restaurant named for the crashing waves just feet away.
So Breakers is literally like me and my dad's like home. It's our heart.
These four walls are an irreplaceable reminder of their triumph.
This restaurant means everything to me. The restaurant business saved my life.
If you've seen the movie Finding Nemo, you know me and my dad's story. He raised me as a single father. He worked at Chili's 7 days a week. He worked at a breakfast place, and that's where he kind of fell in love with the single parent being able to be home with their kids.
When they finally opened the doors of their own breakfast spot 6 years ago, it was the beginning of a new chapter.
We lost our house in the 2008-2009 housing crisis, and we've kind of clawed our way out of this hole.
They hope to pass their success on to future generations of their family, but looking far down the line, there's a big question. What will Mother Nature have in store for their oceanside community?
There's definitely been trends and changes even throughout the years before I was even alive. We have experienced some waves, coming in and coming in through the doors.
Their shoreline is eroding, and as our planet warms, the sea is rising little by little, adding up to big changes in the landscape of the community.
Waves hit it, they're always crashing, so it's just this constant vibration going on, and eventually the bluffs are going to erode.
California Coastal Commission member Leslie Ewing has watched the beaches in Pacifica slowly vanish for decades. This bluff used to hold apartments. After crumbling, it sits empty. Ewing says erosion and sea level rise are intensifying here, and the community should prepare to move farther away from the ocean.
Anticipate what changes are going to happen. We'd rather have people do managed retreat in those cases where protection's not going to be effective, not going to work. Manage that retreat rather than have people in the middle of the night have to pull their few objects that are precious to them out of their houses because it's unsafe for them to be there.
One of the reasons that erosion is so bad here in Pacifica is because this community and all of the roads surrounding it weren't built on bedrock. What's underneath these houses is not much firmer than this sand.
Still, city leaders want to intervene to save Pacifica as it stands today.
Managed retreat is something that the city does not support. The reason that we need to rebuild the seawall, the reason we need to keep that promenade available, it's not just Sharp Park's ocean and pier. It's not just Pacifica's. It's not just California's. It's the whole country's.
With no definitive plan in action, the families of Pacifica are left wondering what will happen in the decades to come.
I think I will be around long enough to see the effects, and I think it'll happen sooner than 100 years, but I can't tell you how soon. I know that it's getting worse, and so we really need to do something about it.
Bancroft, like many others, is hoping a plan comes soon so the entire community is prepared for the change to come.
So we know we'll survive because that's what we do, but I just get chills and tears almost thinking about what would happen if me and my dad's home was threatened again.
For The Race, I'm Alexa Liacko.
Thank you for joining us this week for our conversation about environmental issues. Join us next week as we take a look at our nation's healthcare system, what's working, what's not, and some of the ideas to move the system forward. Until then, from Greensburg, Kansas, I'm Chris Stewart, and this is The Race.